Hi everyone, and welcome back to Maritime Foam. Today I'm going to be talking about Hyper one more time, probably for a while. It's kind of a weird conflict with what I said I wanted to do in the channel. It's when I said I want to talk about blasters that are great for kids and what kids think of them. And most of the reviews that I've done have been about Hyper, which are not phenomenal for kids. We talked about the Siege 50. Link below to that video. I was not a big fan. We talked about the Rush 40. My initial reaction to the Rush 40 has definitely changed, and I'm becoming more of a fan. I have parts ordered to upgrade this blaster, and I will be doing a video guide when I do that. I've really come around on this one. Last but not least, talking Hyper, we're going to talk about the Mach-100, which also includes 80 rounds. Come on, Nerf. This is kind of the equivalent to the Perses, which is such a good blaster right out of the gate. It's kind of the King Rival blaster, one of my favorites. We're gonna see how the Mach-100 measures up. And it has a lot to live up to. This blaster is so good unmodified. It is so fun. But let's talk about the Mach-100. I'm not going to waste too much time going through all the details on the box. One thing I will say that is definitely a bit of a bummer, whereas the Perses had its own rechargeable battery built in, they have gone back to D batteries for this one. So you're going to need to put a lot of dollars of D batteries into this blaster, making sure they're fresh. Not a big fan of that. At some point, this might get a LiPo upgrade if I do like it, just so that I'm not buying D batteries. Let's open it up. Well, I do love the colors of all of these blasters. They have a really nice retro feel. They have markings and paint on both sides of the blaster, which is something that sometimes has been not happening as much. So this looks really nice. It's actually pretty comfortable, which is kind of neat. Inside, it comes with those 80 Hyper rounds, an instruction book, and a pair of safety glasses, just where this blaster is a little bit faster. I'm going to do a jump cut and put the batteries in it. You don't need to watch me do that, and we'll give it a fire. As I mentioned before, 6 D batteries are going to go in this. That's adding a lot of weight to the blaster. That is substantially heavier. There's our battery door there. To compare what we had in the Perses, we had this rechargeable battery, which was great because we would bring home our expensive blaster, we could charge it up, and we can keep charging it up. And this battery worked pretty great. So that's definitely a step back and a mark against the Mach-100. I'm going to awkwardly load this on camera, maybe, or maybe do a time lapse. We're going to call that loaded. I dropped a couple as I was loading it. There's a graphic on the box that is hilarious. It shows people jumping Hyper ammo into the hopper from a distance in the air. Obviously, those are not real images because it's very tricky to load these rubbery rounds sometimes. You know, and if it sounds like, hey, you don't sound super excited about Hyper, why are you talking about it? It's because they are new. Whenever a new line comes out, that is excited. I'm really excited about the Mega XL, which is a new type of Mega Blaster that has even bigger darts. I will definitely be getting one of those when they come out. I mean, it is all about what's fun and what's different. I don't mean to be too cynical on the Hyper stuff. It's so similar to Rival, and it seems like such a good opportunity for an easy step up. But you know what? Maybe it will get there. And I haven't even fired this yet, so let's see what it's like. Not as satisfying as the Perses, I'm going to say, out of the box to fire. Interesting. I'm going to take it outside and we'll see what that looks like, and we'll see what kind of range it gets, and if I can hit Bessie the cow on my shed. That is very bright. Hopefully you can even see Bessie. We're going to see what the 110 feet per second performance looks like out of the Hyper Blaster shooting at Bessie. I'm not going to fire too many because I don't want to lose all these rounds. It's a long spin up. So just kind of all over the place. Let's look at the Perses for comparison. Again, this is unmodified, except for the 3D printed hopper, but doesn't affect performance. And rival rounds go about 100 feet per second. Let's see if we can hit Bessie a little easier. Wow, what a difference. I actually accidentally launched a couple of those over the shed because I'd just been shooting with the Hyper and was compensating for how far those balls went. So there you have it. I hope this has kind of given you a bit of a look at Hyper. If you were thinking of getting a Flywheel blaster and taking it to an event, or just having fun blasting not foam but rubber at your kids or family or coworkers, there are probably better blasters to do that with. Even if you want to dominate with a Flywheel blaster for the same price as this brand new Hyper, you can actually get right now at Toys R Us a Perses blaster, and you would be better off for it. But it'll be interesting to see what Hyper does as time goes on. There are mod guides from Out of Darts to put a lipo in this and significantly increase the performance, and there's a hop-up tab to increase the accuracy. So there is definitely a way to make this blaster better. It's just it's a little bit of a shame because I think the Perses is so good right out of the box, and most people aren't going to be tearing it apart and putting a new battery and new motors and new flywheels in. The only thing I did for the Perses is I did put on a 3D printed hopper, but it snapped right on. It was something that anyone could do, and it took that capacity from 50 to about 160. If I didn't say before, or if it wasn't obvious from the name Mach-100, this holds 100. When I put 80 Hyper balls in here, there was a lot of room left. I think you could put more than 100. I'm guessing they stop it at 100 because these balls are so rubbery and kind of stick together that it might get pretty jammy if you put in too much more than that. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have watched, if you're one of the legions who have watched these, and I'm excited. The next review I do, I am going to go more kid focused. A smaller blaster. There's a cool little single shot that is dragon themed, a D&D blaster. So I'll be talking about that next, and I'll get some kid opinions of that one too. All right, stay tuned. Thank you. So this is a miss. If you really, really want to try out Hyper and get into that, then go with the Rush 40. It is affordable, it has a great capacity, and is a really, really cool blaster that is a hit. That's all till next time. Bye.